So one thing we're going to make a request of you is that you extract yourself from the memories, extract yourself from the feeling of the anxiety, the pain, the sadness, the fear, the anger, whatever it is that triggered in you. Let's remove ourselves from that feeling for a moment and make that request of the soul for the unseen crayons, for what is it that we can learn here, for what is the opportunity this offers us. Because in essence, this soul, these souls, collaboratively, the soul group that is involved here, has made a physical offering. We were going to say sacrifice, but that sounds victimhood, but that's the term that comes immediately to the energetic. But it's an offering. So what they're saying is, we're going to endure pain, or not endure. It's so hard to have these conversations without the victim words coming in. But we're going to have the experience of learning about, sounds kind of trite, but it's true, pain and sliding across pavement and bleeding and breaking bones and being in a coma and having the hospital experience. Okay? We're going to learn about this directly as an offering, not only to our soul's growth, but as an offering for all who encounter this to grow as well. You see? See how that takes it out of the victimhood? It's not, oh God, this thing happened to me. It's, okay, this is happening, and I'm recognizing that I, as a script holder for all of you, can offer something for your growth as well. And of course, this doesn't just relate to this specific situation. It relates to every situation. But let's stay in the context of this situation so that we can all move this energetic together. All right? So we're not being myopic. We're simply trying to have an example. And of course, this is a very poignant example. So if you look at this and you say, all right, I have an emotional reaction, I have a physical reaction, I have a habituated reaction, I have a reaction that comes from my past, I have a reaction in my future, like what if this happened to me, or what if this happened to someone I'm close to, or, you know, how did, all those things. So all that stuff, you know, is here. And the opportunity this presents tonight specifically is for us to apply tools as a group that we've been studying for so many months. Okay? So the first tool is to say, okay, I'm feeling strongly and I'm feeling a habit. Because almost every feeling you get that comes on like that is a habit. And even if it's the appropriate feeling in the moment, or even if it's the feeling you're going to stick with in the moment, it's not been done consciously because it came on you instantaneously. So that instantaneous reaction, we're going to evaluate. All right? So the instantaneous reaction, we had anger, we had anxiety, we had nervousness, we had planning, we had fear, we had sadness, we had confusion, we had unknowing, right? All those feelings that came on in that way, let's just move those out of the body and into the circle. Just let it sit sort of right here in the middle. And offer the converted energetic of neutral observation. So if you sit in neutral observation, and it came up a little bit in your talk, the idea that what kind of karma did they have together, or what were they script holding for each other, or what kind of an agreement is that, or like you mentioned Robert Schwartz's book, what was their plan? You can only access that level of consciousness when you've removed yourself from that habitual emotional state. You can see that, right? Mm-hmm. Now what tends to happen is you get conscious, you remove yourself from the habitual emotional state, you sort of experience it. Some people would think it was intellectual because it's not emotional, but it's not intellectual. It's really that connection with your soul. It's the insight place, You're opening to the insight place, which is neutral observation. Now, of course, as we've shared, insight comes in and is processed by the mind, just like thinking is, so there can be confusion there. But the insight place is where you're asking yourself to interact with the news, to interact with the situation. Because it's very easy to say there's a victim, there's a perpetrator, there's a disease, there's a coping mechanism, all these sorts of labels. But none of those labels are going to take you to learning and eventual ease and bliss and grace about this. They're going to habituate you to cultural stereotypes about these sorts of things. And you are all here doing such deep work that to give in to habitual stereotypes about this kind of a thing would be a missed opportunity for growth. So, as we move the emotions out for just a moment, we're going to come back to them, but we move them out, you move into neutral observation, and you open up to say, okay, I had a strong reaction to this, and I know there's more here that I am not currently conscious of, and that's what I'm interested in knowing. Because that is my return offering as a script holder in return to offer something else. Because I'm a light worker and I'm walking in front, so it's my role to offer something else to this dynamic. Not just more, oh no, oh God, oh this, oh that. I'm going to offer something else. And the only place I have to access that something else that we've found for you all is what we've called neutral observation. All right? So everyone's, okay. So in neutral observation, and this is a collective experience, so when you get into neutral observation, what do you get? What comes up for each of you? Just spit them out. Not big, long sentences, because we need to keep building the energetic, but a word or two.
Questioning.
Okay.
Just what can we do?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Fairness pops into my mind.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Allowing processing.
Allowing processing. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So there's this idea that, or this insight that, okay, there is another way to interact. Even just those little terms you spit out, it's like, oh, that's not grief, that's not sadness, that's not crying, that's not pain, that's not anguish, that's something else. And that something else, whatever language you associate with it, that's what we have been teaching for 7 years. For you to get to the point where something happens and you go, okay. Because that's the only path we have uncovered that allows you to offer a revised energetic. The other energetics are victim-based. And if you're going to go with victim-based, you may as well just leave. Because we're not going to teach victim-based anything. We're teaching you the new operating system, which is creator-based operating system, not victim-based operating system.
Where do the emotions fit in, though? Because I think...
Well, we're going to get there. Let's just keep on this subject. So, as you move the emotions out, as you open up to insight, and as these new terminologies, this new thought, this new idea comes to you, what happens then is that the emotional reaction is then processed through the new insight, rather through the habituated, low vibrational, matching energy with victimhood previous state. So, you hear the news, so-and-so's had an accident, even that word. So-and-so's had an incident resulting in deep injury. The emotional system fires up, and it has to. At this point, it still has to, because you're still worried about getting dead, you're still dealing with your biology, you're still doing the fight or flight response. You're still connected to your biology deeply enough that the first reaction is going to be an emotional-based survival instinct. That we have worked on enough that we imagine you all can go, oh, hang on, I'm in survival mode here, or I'm fear of getting dead, or I'm bringing the past or the future into this moment. And you push that emotional reaction out, on hold, you open to insight, you say, what are the crayons I can color with? What am I learning here? What is the gift in this moment? We've had lots of different language, but that sort of summarizes it. And then you wait for yourself to have a different experience.